Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer where we have grown men crying now because arcade went up in basic fun and everybody else is not giving them the cabs they want. Oh, Lord, please, why don't I have Robotron? Oh, please give me Spy Hunter. I really want a Junior Pac-Man. Oh, please, may I have some more slop, please? Shut up, girly man. Look, you got to wake up and smell the coffee, right? Let me burst your bubble. Look, guys, talking about arcades and entertaining and stuff, but there's a point of delusion, right? Like at some point, I got to just wake you up. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's talk numbers, right? Let's talk about the things that people don't like to talk about in the arcade community because, it burst your nostalgia bubble, right? When I bring you back down to earth, right? And they you know what? I already know this video is going to get suppressed, so let's just start there, right? But I'm just talking numbers. I'm really not talking bad about the companies. It's just reality. Whether it's Basic Fun, Arcade Went Up, Iconic Arcade, these companies are in business to make money, and these are the facts. The facts are that they are not making the cabinets that you want because they're just not going to make enough money. They're not. Why is that? Well, let's start with licensing fees, right? And let's just say that you and I, right, we want to do what, John D and Iconic Arcade did, and we want to make our own cabinet. Let's just say that we want to make, I don't know, Super Frogger, whatever, Jungle Hunt. Right? Something's not, we're going to make Jungle Hunt. And we go and say, hey, you know what? Give me the license for Jungle Hunt. I want to make that cabinet. Okay. The licensing fee is $300,000. Wait, what? 300? Are you sure? Yes. Now, let me ask you this. If John D, who is a popular, even if you don't like him, he's a very popular person within the arcade community. And him as a consultant and Iconic Arcade who's made product before can only ship 2 containers out, meaning 500 units, right? Let's just play with round numbers. Let's say that we can replicate what he did, which would be highly unlikely because nobody knows you, but, we're just starting this, Acme company. So our first charge, before we even make the first cabinet, we have to pay $300,000 out of pocket. Now, which one of you, right, is going to take a line of credit out there to make this happen on your house? Not me. I like making money. The first rule in investing is not to lose money. Right? And you're already starting with a loser. You're already losing money. Right? That's why you want those pre-order interest-free loans that you don't have to pay back. Right? Pre-orders are all the way. They're all the rage these days. Okay, so you're 300 grand in. And if we're only able to muster 500 units of pre-orders, our licensing fee per cabinet is $600. Without making it, without any labor, without software, without anything. Before you build a cabinet, they're already costing you $600 a piece if you can only make a 500 unit pre-order, if you're shipping 2 containers. That's terrible. That's terrible. How many would you need to sell? What number would make sense, right? A more feasible number per unit would be like $50, $60. So to get it down to $60, let's say, per unit, I have to sell 5,000. Now, you tell me what arcade cabinet that only has a licensing fee of $300,000 is going to get 5,000 pre-orders. If Street Fighter Alpha 2 can only get 500, and you have to split that in half with Street Fighter, but let's just pretend, right, that Street Fighter Alpha 2 is getting 500 units, how many do you think you're going to sell? Right? This is what companies are looking at. If I can't move this many units, there's no point in investing. How much of your money are you willing to risk? even $100,000. If I told you, hey, there's a risk you can lose everything, or get a 1% rate of return, you're going to go, you're crazy. I could just stick it in the bank and make 4%. Why am I going to give it to you? And we're taking all these risks. And I could get sued, so I could be even negative money. Forget about losing all the investment. I can lose even more than what I'm putting in. What a proposition that is. Right? That's the reason you're not getting the cabinet. Oh, please. I really love Robotron. And I would really like another Burger Time, but a real one, Stop crying, man. Stop being delusional. I mean, these are popular videos to make, but I hope anybody else out there can do simple mathematics. I'm telling you, you just need a calculator. No business degree needed. You just go, well, how many did he sell? How much is the licensing fee? I mean, this is just basic economics we're talking about here. So these companies are not making the cabinets that you want because they're not going to sell enough of them to make it worth the investment in the license. Now, if you don't have a license, that's a completely different deal, right? If you're just making a cabinet that somebody can put stickers on, you're making some sort of replica, that's a completely different deal. But that's not what people are crying about. They're crying about companies not making the cabinets that they want in the way they want them made. And the only way this business proposition makes sense is if you're able to sell that many. Let's just pretend, right? Let's just pretend you're selling 5,000 units. Great. How much are you going to charge for them? Well, your costs are $200 plus $60 in licensing fee. That's, $260. Let's say it's another $40 for software, whatever. That's $300. You need to sell them for $599 to make money, to be safe, to pay everybody, to have some sort of contingency plan where you're factoring in all the risks. And who's willing to pay $599 for every cabinet? Not a lot of people. Not me. Certainly not me. It's not going to be me. It could be somebody else, right? There's a lot of people out there, but apparently there's not enough to make 5,000 pre-order. Because if you think you're going to make your money later, if you're going to start with a 500 unit order and think that you're eventually going to make your money back, you're insane. Because, they get popular right away and then they just taper off, right? You're not going to sell enough. If you only sell 500 in the beginning while it's hot, the odds of you selling 5,000, 10 times as much over the next, whatever your licenses last, usually they're a year. Let's say they're 2 years. You think you're going to sell 2,500 cabinets every year when you can only get 500 in pre-orders? Highly unlikely. It's very highly unlikely, right? So this is about economics. There's just not enough of a customer base to, validate what you want made, right? And at what point are you, what if the cabinet's $800 when you can get the real one? I really would love a Donkey Kong replica. I would be willing to pay $599 for a Donkey Kong replica. But what do you think the licensing for that is? So the company holding that license is going to take a huge hit because that's probably, let's say, $1 million. Now how many, right? Could you do it? Yes, if you have enough backing, if you have enough money. But for the size of the market now, it's just a loser. So I need you guys to wake up, smell the coffee. You're going to have to make it yourself, whatever it is that you want. Because smart money is not putting money in replica arcades. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. If you want to check out behind the scenes, go right here. Join the channel. You want to choose a topic? Right here. Guys, I have a very busy work week coming up. I got a new job. I enjoy it. Oh, and I'm locking in, baby. I am locking in. Buku Bucks means Buku Reviews. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.